Hello, beautiful souls. What a week it has been. What a month it has been. What a few months it has been. Whew! The craziest time on this planet, yet the most historical time that we all came here for. We came here for this time, but who knew it would be like this? Who knew it would be this crazy, this hard, this intense? And before we go any further, I just want to thank you guys for sending me, for pouring your love. I made a Facebook post yesterday and over 200 of you commented. Over 200 of you commented on Telegram as well. And I read some of your comments and man, it was just like a tsunami of love. Thank you so much. I've just been going through a lot of deep emotional clearing, a lot of very fine layers of ego tuning. When I say ego, I mean everything that's coming between me and divinity, me and my higher self. So we've been purging like crazy, and the last week has been extremely intense, where this light has just triggered everything, all my childhood abuse that I thought I had already dealt with, the trauma work I thought that I had already done, have come back for us to look at, have come back for the deepest layers, especially all these emotions that were stuck in my stomach. They have chosen this time. Why, I don't know. I guess it's because they feel safe to be seen, to be healed, to be processed, and to be released. I shared with some of you that my stomach's actually losing belly fat, like I'm down a pant size. That shows us how much gunk we have stored in our bodies, in our organs, in our tissues. And now's the time for all of this. It's just healing so beautifully. So thank you all for that love. One tip that I do want to offer you right off the bat, for anyone who has been through any kind of abuse, whether it's emotional abuse, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's sexual abuse, even if it's abuse of your parents projecting guilt on you, saying, hey, we've raised you, we've fed you, what have you done for us? That's abuse. That is abuse. I just want to say now the ask is for us to feel. Many of us have cut off our feeling sensors because of our abuse, and that's what was shown to me this week. I go directly from, all right, I've had abuse, to, you know what, it's fine, my father, soul contract, he's a narcissist, he's in pain, he had a hard childhood. I go straight into making excuses. I go straight into forgiving. I go straight into compassion. I go straight into empathy. And I know many of you can relate. And that has been the lesson, to not jump from this to this, but process the hurt, process the grief, process the trauma that lies in our cells for how much we have been through. So I have been feeling. I've said, all right, I am here. I've created a sacred container. This is what I've been doing in my bedroom, lying down. I've created a sacred container around myself. And I've said, show yourself to me hurt. Show yourself to me grief. Show yourself to me, every part of me. I am here for you. I will stay with the discomfort. I will stay with this yucky feeling. I won't jump to making a post, or I won't jump to what's comfortable in making a YouTube video. I won't jump to teaching others. These are the easy things. I won't jump to social media. I won't jump to going out for dinner with friends. I won't jump to calling someone so I can just while away my time. But I will stay here and I will feel you. I will look you in the eye and I will feel every bit of the discomfort as I heal these once and for all from my system. So I've been doing that, and I love you guys. We have so much to share today on the compression breakthrough. I'll let Siman start. I love you guys. If it gets dark, we just wanted to share this beautiful sunset with you. We're only here for another 2 more days. So this is our last stake in this gorgeous abode. That's where we're staying right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And if it does get too dark, we'll go inside for the rest of the video.
We definitely had some good times here, didn't we?
Yeah, oh my God. This place has been magical.
This place has been our cocoon for healing in the last couple of weeks that we've been here. And man, has it ever been intense. I'm sure that's the unanimous one thing we can all decide on, although there's so much division in the world, but the one thing we can decide on is the intensity. Whether you're in 3D or 4D or 5D, it doesn't matter. You're feeling it in one form or another. Whether you're unconscious of it or conscious of it, it doesn't matter. And feeling is the biggest gift that we have. And as humans, we tend to try to compartmentalize our pain and say, it's too much, I don't have time for this, I'll feel it later. But feeling is one of the biggest gifts that is given to us by God. So allow yourself the gift of feeling, because when we process what we're feeling, then we put it behind us and we can move on. When we store it away, we kind of like write ourselves a post-dated check that we have to cash later at some point. So might as well do it now when it's most potent. It's not always going to be this potent. And so there's a lot of guidance that is coming through. We wanted to touch on the topic of the compression breakthrough because that's most prominent right now on planet Earth. And I'm going to start by sharing a bit of what my understanding of the compression breakthrough is, that the knowledge that we've been receiving from our guides. So we on planet Earth, we accumulate a lot of junk in our bodies. We accumulate not only physical junk like toxins from the foods we eat. We are constantly breathing nanoparticles from the air, and these nanoparticles are coming from the chemtrails that are constantly being sprayed into our atmosphere for God knows how many decades. People didn't even pay attention in the beginning, and now it's like so visible for all to see. So these chemtrails that exist in our atmosphere are there for a very nefarious reason. They're not there to help us. They're not there to stabilize our atmosphere in any way. They contain minute particles, these minute molecular machines that are nanobots that enter our bloodstream when we breathe them in. And what they do is they hold on to our cells and they feed off all of our negative energy. And this is a dark ET technology that is designed for the very purpose of manipulating mankind to make us kind of like zombies, remote controlled zombies. So the way it works is that these nanobots feed off our negative energy and they siphon this negative energy out of us and send it to remote off-world places. And negative ET races take this energy, it's also called loosh energy, and this is what feeds their whole system. So what's happening right now with the compression breakthrough is that people who are in 3D and lower 4D, they're going to go more into the density of the matrix. Because if you're vibrating in fear in the lower spectrum of the negative emotions, you're going to go deeper and deeper into the illusion. However, if you're in your heart and you are already working on yourself and you are not looking for outside sources of information for confirming anything, you don't need to know what's outside. You know what's within, you know what you came here to do, and you know what your soul's mission is, then you're going to find it easier to break free of the control and manipulation that is imposed in our physical bodies using these nanoparticles or these nanobots. So your guides want you to know that right now is the time for detox. And the main reason for this detox is to allow ourselves to shed enough of these nanoparticles so that we're no longer controlled by them. The way these nanobots work is they feed off our negative emotions, and the more we feed our ego, the more we act in erratic and irrational and negative behaviors based on our egoic desires, the more we're feeding these nanoparticles to have more control over us. But the ones who are, it's always free will. So the ones who are deciding that I no longer want to feed my ego, I no longer want to feed my negative energy, they're going to be able to slowly lessen the effect that these nanoparticles have over them. And I hope I'm explaining this right. So we will go into more detail to cover various aspects of this whole topic. But as you detox and as you make the conscious free will decisions to stop feeding your negative energy, these nanobots have no more power over you. then you, once you take their power source away, which is your negative energy, they're slowly going to start exiting your body. And you can also aid them exiting your body by juicing, by doing food detoxes, and by eating a clean diet, by not feeding your ego. So what happens is that when you rid your body of more than 90% of these nanoparticles, then you feel there will be a point in your evolution, and we recently experienced this. There'll be a point where you just have this poof, like aha moment, where the light quotient within your body overpowers the dark quotient. So you become more light because there's no more controlling forces within you. And when you become more light, that is your compression breakthrough. After that, it becomes more easy to follow the voice, the inner voice of reason, of your higher self, of your soul. And it becomes easier to make the right choices that amplify your health and well-being, and amplify the direction, the positive direction that your soul wants you to go in. So that, in a nutshell, is the compression breakthrough. So we just wanted to bring your attention to that and just remind everyone how important the physical part, the physical diet, the exercise, the detox is right now. Because right now we're being asked to completely stop feeding the 3D matrix. We're being asked to completely let go of the old patterns that have been holding us and keeping us captive.
And the good news is that now's the time when all of this is possible. All of this is so, the energies have been so intense since December 21st of 2020. Tangibly, it feels like we're in Santa Teresa right now in Costa Rica. And it is extremely, this whole city is rumored to sit on a quartz bed. And I kid you not, everybody in this city is going crazy. Like even going out for a simple breakfast or a simple lunch or a simple dinner is extremely stressful, taxing if you're not centered. And even for the most centered, most grounded people, which we consider ourselves to be, we feel like it's easy for us to go back in our hearts and not let the outside world completely pull us off on a tangent. It is not easy in Santa Teresa. It's actually, in fact, this afternoon we got a message from the ancestors of this land saying this land is meant to be a city of light.
Land.
It's a sacred land, and all these surfing, and it's become like a surf town, but the energy it's completely taken away from its purpose. So how this will play out and how we will bring back sacredness to this land is all, it's still in the unknown. But one thing I wanted to give you guys is an example of how much the gap in 3D and 5D, like that dimensional split in consciousness, is so vast right now that people are literally, 3D is literally glitching. That's the word that comes to mind. It's glitching. So I say this with a lot of sadness, and some of you might still see the emotions of sadness in me as I say this. I've been processing a lot of sadness this week. We've been going to a specific resort, a specific hotel here because it's on the outskirts. It's very calm. It's very, they make fresh almond milk for the cappuccinos, which we really like. So we've been going there often. We go for Pilates, we go for yoga. And there are a few servers there. Since we go almost every day, we stay from breakfast and then we leave at 4 o'clock. We do all our work there. We plan our, do all our retreat planning and whatever we need to do. We have a lot of 3D work as well right now. As we, move away from 3D, there's still so much wrap up to do. We've been going there almost every day. And the servers there have become our friends. They felt like family. They felt safe. And Siman and I would always say to each other, we'd be like, wow, thank goodness we found this little piece of heaven in this crazy city, this crazy notorious city. A few days ago, and we tip very well. So I'm covering all aspects. We tip generously. We're super kind, super positive.
We talk to them about their family. They show us their pictures of their children. We became friends pretty much.
Like family.
Yeah.
And it's such a heavy word, family. Like I don't even want to use that anymore because I feel sadness in my heart. So we've been going there and we consider these people family, all the servers. And a few days ago we were there and Siman started feeling lightheaded. And we ordered like green smoothies. We all day we're like green smoothie, cappuccino, ceviche, like we're always ordering. So when they got us the green smoothie, I even said to him, I said, Saman's feeling lightheaded. He was about to faint. I said, can you add some honey? So they were aware that we weren't feeling up to our, you know, our normal selves. The restaurant is right on the beach. It was beautiful. And we realized that on the side there was this little swing where you could just go and lie down and swing. And we literally went up there and Saman said, this is heaven. We've been coming here for 6 weeks now. How come we haven't seen this swing? So we sat on the swing. It was absolutely amazing. And within 2 minutes, it literally felt like the Garden of Eden because it was tucked away in a corner. No one ever sits on that swing, by the way. I've never seen that swing. I've never seen anyone in that swing. And instantly our favorite server comes up to us and he says, excuse me, you can't sit here. And I looked at him and I said, why not? And he says, oh no, this is just for hotel guests. I said, we're hotel guests. He says, no, only for people who stay here because they pay a lot of money to be here. And I said, oh, okay. And as galactics, we have to understand that we have to accept Earth's rules. So we have had that training.
Even when they don't make sense.
Even when they don't make sense, you can't go to a planet and throw your shit around and saying, hey, we're a galactic civilization. We're not playing by your rules. No, you have to bind somewhat by the Earth's rules. So I looked at him still very innocently and I said, okay, we'll just sit here for 5 more minutes. Oh no, I said, we'll sit here for 20 more minutes and then come. Very innocently, I said to him. And he nodded his head in such disgust and he stormed away without even responding to us. And we looked at each other and we didn't say anything because we don't like to attach to negativity. And we said, all right, let's just leave. As we walked to the restaurant, we saw this guy, our favorite server, who we've spoken about his daughter. We've seen pictures of his daughter. We were going to give him $100 at the end so he could buy his daughter a gift. Like, it's so sad. He was bitching about us to all the kitchen staff saying, these guys, they're not. So we said, hey, just give us the bill. We're going to leave. And he says, we have to follow rules. That's for hotel guests. So something happened, like he started glitching. And this is happening all over Earth. The 3D, 5D split is getting so defined. So it's extremely clear where you're vibrating. And literally, they don't have the same set of rules. So think about it. In 5D, when you think of it, hey, I'm coming every single day. And you know, I've used the spa, I go to the Pilates, I go for yoga. Like I'm a valuable customer. I'm spending good money in this economy. Instead, his rules are, no, I have to follow rules because you're not a guest and you have to leave. And I said, no one's even complaining. We're just here for 20 minutes. But you see how in that 1 second, the whole energy shifted. We decided to never go back there. We decided that it was not a safe place anymore. And we left with so much hurt in our hearts. Of course, we didn't show them the hurt, which is why our guides are saying, when you feel hurt, it's okay to show hurt. We go instantly to, oh, all right, you know, keep the tip, here you go, we're out of here. But what lies under that behavior is hurt, is deep hurt. It's been a week now. And both of us, when we came home, we were feeling sad. We're like, it doesn't feel safe, but at the same time, you don't want to start affirming that because you don't want to keep attracting that. So I just want to say to you guys, if you're feeling this dimensional craziness, this split is affecting us more than we realize. This split is affecting our psychology. It's affecting our psyche. So it's so important for every single one of us to stay in our center, to not let these crazy tactics of the ego. When I say ego, I mean this person we were dealing with has an out of control ego. So going back to what Saman was talking about, nanopods, imagine all these nanopods are vibrating in him. It's easy for him to be manipulated. It's easy for him to be manipulated to behave that way. Even it doesn't even make any logical sense. If he says we have to follow the rules, why don't you ever ask me to wear a mask? Why do you let your mask hang down by your lips ever since I told you that it's harmful for you? Those are the rules. You're supposed to have them on. Why do you let 20 people after yoga not wear a mask? Like, we don't believe in it, but I'm just giving him a dose of his own medicine. I didn't say any of this, but you see how it makes no sense? I don't want to say these things and waste my energy. Once I realize the soul contract is done, I'm out of there. But I just want to say every single one of you is going through this in some way or the other. It's with your families, or it's with your colleagues, it's with your mother or your father or your son or your daughter or your husbands or your wives. This craziness is on earth. So it's very important for us to really stay in our hearts and to not attach to this negativity, to not match ego with ego, because this is meant to be a trap. This is like a trap that can suck you into a dark vortex of negativity. So we just vibrate higher. We let it go. We don't attach to our ego. Let's say your ego says, go complain to the manager, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. What's it doing? It's taking you away from your ascension. It's taking you away from your peace. It's taking you away from the sacred container you have created around yourself, and you use your awareness. Realize that it's happening for a reason. It's happening because of this dimensional shift. So don't take it personally. I just wanted to share that because I know every single one of you can relate to that. Vibe above, vibe high. Don't stick to the density. Yes, 3D is crumbling. Yes, 3D is glitching. Let it be. Disconnect. In fact, don't aid the 3D matrix, and don't add to this ball of negativity. Don't add to this ball of frustration. Instead, vibe above it. As you start vibing above it, you'll start noticing that things will just start changing. You'll then start attracting places. You'll keep, it's trial and error. You keep then finding new places, new opportunities, new people. So it's very important to be aware of that sacred container, your pillar. You are a pillar of light. You're connected all the way from the great central sun down to the core of Mother Earth. So use that analogy wherever you go, and don't attach to the negativity. It's so important right now.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that people are acting more and more erratic right now is because the split between the 3D and the 5D is growing more and more wider, as you may be aware. But what our guides shared a very interesting insight with us. They said the pulse that was sent to Earth on December 21st of 2020, it was an extremely potent pulse, but it was not only designed to raise the quotient of the light on the planet, but it was also designed to further make the divide between 3D and 5D more visible. So as the light quotient of the planet went up after December 21st, so did the dark quotient. That's why we're seeing more darkness, but we're also seeing more light. Depends on your perspective. If you are more focused on your inner world, if you are focusing on your ascension, then you will notice that you're suddenly coming more online. Your gifts and abilities are amplifying. You're going to notice that, yes, we have difficult days, yes, we have challenging days, and sometimes, honestly, it's unbearable for us. But all of these things are going to pay off in the end, because we're processing intense amount of data and we're coming online. So this is a rebirthing process, and rebirthing is painful. So while the people in the upper 4D, in the positive state, people who are more in the positive state, in the upper 4D and 5D, while they're going higher in their light quotient, at the same time, the people who are in the negative state, the people who are in the lower 4D realms, who are just focused on the news, who are just looking outside for some sort of piece of information that will help put their minds at ease, or they're just like looking to spiritual leaders to help pacify them because they're so much in fear. They're always projecting their attention outside instead of inside. So those people who are stuck in 3D or lower 4D are going more and more in their darkness. And this is all happening by design, because this ascension is a harvesting of the souls.
My goodness, that's so amazing. I literally wrote that down right now.
Amazing.
Harvesting of souls.
Exactly.
I love how we're on the same wavelength.
Exactly. So this ascension, our guides constantly remind us, is a harvesting of the souls. That doesn't mean that God, that is day of judgment and an angry God will come and decide who goes to heaven and who goes to hell, like the conventional religion teaches us. What this really means is we are all godlike beings. And as godlike beings, we with our own free will decide which camp we fall under. So if we make choices through our unconscious mind, we're going to go lower and lower in the 3D matrix. If we make choices with our higher selves, with our souls in mind, then we're going to go rise up and up and up. And over time, the divide between 3D and 5D will become so visible. I'll give you an example of this. We recently met a beautiful couple who came here from the UK, and people in UK are in lockdown. Yet these people came here with a beautiful daughter, and they escaped the matrix. They broke their paradigm. They went against all odds. And I asked them, surprisingly, very surprised. I asked them, how did you make your way here? I thought there's no flights coming to Costa Rica from the UK. They said that's what they tell you, but we had such a powerful resolve that we no longer want to stay in that bullshit matrix, that we showed up at the airport kiosk and we bought our tickets and we came here. And when you show up at the airport kiosk, you'll realize that they can't hold you back. They can't stop you because it's illegal to hold people hostage in their countries.
And the funny thing is that right now, Costa Rica, everybody we talk to is saying that Costa Rica's right now, for this time of the year, February, businesses have never done better. Businesses have never done better. Everybody is packed. Like literally, today I got a pedicure. I had to wait 10 days for a freaking pedicure in this city. It is packed. Businesses are booming. Restaurants are booming. People are dancing on the beach. There's no masks.
People are
most
escaping
places.
their matrix, and they're coming to places like in the tropical areas, in the areas where the lockdowns are not as strict.
And remember that a lot of people doing this are vibrating 3D consciousness. So they come for 2-3 weeks and they leave. But for light workers, he was talking about the couple from UK. These guys, if you guys remember our previous videos, they are the same people that the universe connected us with for us to bring in our sage and drum and handpan and all of that. Remember those guys? It is crazy, you guys, how the universe connected us, because now we're bringing them in for our ecstatic dance at the retreat, where they're going to be drumming and leading the ecstatic dance and doing a sound bath at the end. And the universe is saying we connected you for a reason. So it's amazing how these guys took one step. These are light workers. They took one step. They arrived with their little daughter, Gaia. If you're watching, I love you. She's so beautiful. Their daughter, Gaia. She's little. She's really little. She started going to nursery here so they can do their work. They've started offering sound baths on the beach.
Yeah.
They are taking the first step and the universe is catching them. They sent us the beach video sound bath, and as soon as we saw it, we're like, yeah, if they had not taken that step, if they had just come here and said, all right, somebody save us, somebody catch us, we're in Costa Rica, what do we do now? We don't work with such people. So we backed off and we waited for them to take the first step. And when they sent us that beautiful video sound bath, we were like, absolutely, we're now going to go ahead and we're going to book you and we're going to pay you more. This was actually guidance. We're going to pay you more than you're even asking. And we're going to pay you double or than what we even think that in 3D this would be worth, because 5D abundance is meant to be shared. It's like so many teachings in this, I know. These guys showed up and the universe has caught them. And this is happening in front of my very eyes. They've gone through such a roller coaster here in Costa Rica. Same with us. We've been through such a roller coaster. We just left Toronto. Right now, it's been 5.5 months we've been here. We just left. It takes courage, guys. So the guides are constantly saying, use your courage, because you take one step, the universe will come forward 10 steps. You can't just sit and play the waiting game anymore.
Yeah, and the reason we're sharing this example with you guys is to hopefully inspire many light workers who are under the illusion that they're stuck in the matrix. Nobody can be stuck because you're a free will being. When you make your resolve strong enough, you will find a way. The universe will open doors for you and you will find a way out of this matrix. You don't have to be stuck anywhere. And also, you don't have to let the voice of your family or all your unconscious friends dictate your decisions. I hear some light workers saying that unfortunately I had to get the shot in the arm because all my family was getting it and they were not allowing me to choose. Really? Like, you're an adult. No one can put a gun to your head and say, get the shot in the arm. It doesn't work that way. If you think you are being coerced, then it's on you. It's on you. You made the choice. This is your free will. So the time is over for us to project blame on others for our complacency. This is the time for us to stand up for what we believe in. This is the time for us to let our voice be heard. And this is the time for us to be crystal clear in our boundaries, because humanity is going through an immense psychological abuse that is being played out on the whole planet. So this psychological abuse will continue until the camps are very clearly visible. There's 5D and then there's 3D. There's people lining up to get the shot, and then there are people who are saying, hell effing no, I'm not going there. I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this dysfunctional matrix. And light workers are slowly going to start congregating in communities. They're slowly going to start raising organic cities of light. They're slowly going to start
It's already happening.
growing their own foods. They're slowly going to start buying pieces of land and becoming independent and telling their governments, I no longer consent to your bullshit rules. That's how we create new earth. It's not like some savior like Trump is going to come and save our planet and then suddenly we start getting checks every week. That's not how God planned this ascension. The ascension happens when we make the decision to ascend. When we say no more, this is it, we've had it, and now out of that frustration, out of that darkness, we create our own 5D. We create our own new world that resonates with us, that resonates with our own beliefs and ideals.
And the shot in the arm, guys, was designed to depopulate. It was designed to control the masses. It was designed to remove the weak. The lady who was doing my pedicure today, she literally said that her uncle in Israel's going crazy with the shot in the arm. He literally passed away at the age of 50 within a week or within 24 hours. I can't remember. She literally said he was fine, excellent health. He had a seizure, not even a heart attack. He had a seizure and he passed away. So how this is going to play out, we don't know. We don't know. But all we know is right now we have a choice. There is 3D, there is the matrix, there is the control systems, but there's also the 5D. There's also the 5D where nobody controls you. You eat organic food, you detox, you're in your creator mode, you plan retreats, you go for retreats, you stand in your power. There's both worlds that exist. You either aid this world, you're in this camp, or you're in the other camp. It really is happening right in front of our eyes where the choices are very visible, and the shot in the arm has been designed to stop our ascension. It has been designed to stop our ascension because the first goal of these negative beings was to depopulate, to remove the weak ones, keep the agile ones, and then microchip the agile ones so that they could control us. Because once we're microchipped, we're pretty much their property. And this is happening, but also on the other hand, more and more people right now, like the example that we just gave, Siman and I are the examples too. We've come to Costa Rica, we're starting a life here. We're in our courage. We're not worried about how are we going to pay our bills. We're not worried about, oh my God, what are we going to do? We are saying, yes, this is what we came here for. And I can tell you the way the universe has caught us, guys, we feel like if you ask us, we feel we're in the office of Christ. And this just is always, you guys are working for the office of Christ. That's the message we keep receiving. So when you're on your divine path, think of what you're doing for the planet. Think of which office you're working for and how much they have our back. And I can tell you, we are being supported more than we have ever been supported in our entire lives right now, in all aspects. Angels, when we call upon angels these days for healings, how did Archangel Haniel come the other day? Was it Haniel and Raphael? I can't remember.
Which one?
Remember, they came giddy. They came so happy. When we call the angels for healings, they are excited to come work with us, because when you raise your vibration to a certain level of consciousness, they're getting giddy to work with us. They're saying you guys are becoming Christed beings. And we want to come work with you. Oh my God, we get to work with Eldora. We get to work with Siman Ra.
Yeah, I told Eldora the other day I was giving her a healing and I called Archangel Haniel. No, I didn't even call her. She came herself. And she had all this like happiness and joy and bubbliness. And I said, what's the good news? Like, share it with us. And she said, I'm working on Eldora, and this is such an honor for me. And she was looking at us as esteemed beings of light, and she was looking at our light bodies, which are glowing and shining because we've let go of so much right now. And she was looking at us as masters, and our angels are so proud of us right now. They're so proud of you
Yes.
because of how much you're putting up with, how much you've been through, and they're all looking at you giddy. You're looking at yourself as this human who's tired at the end of the rope. However, they're looking at you as such powerful master beings of light that you
Yes.
have no idea. They look at you with so much respect that when you call upon them, they consider it an honor to be in your presence. So that was quite a insight for us. And we also have some people asking, will this 3D, 5D split actually happen physically? Like, will there be like two planets, or how does this work? Will my pets be there? Will my kids be there? Will my family be there? Like, what do I need to do to prepare? So just know that if you're asking these kind of questions, that's a very good question. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, you need to raise your awareness. You need to raise your consciousness a bit and not be so much in your mind, because these are all the questions of the mind. The mind only understands physicality. The mind does not understand consciousness, vibration, and energy. For that, we need to drop into our hearts. So our guides want you to know that the split between 3D and 5D is happening vibrationally, which means if you're, let's say, stuck in Australia and you're in a lockdown, it doesn't mean you cannot be in 5D, because 5D is a vibration. If you're saying, well, Simon and Eldora are lucky they escaped Canada before this whole lockdown took place, but I was unlucky, so I can't be in 5D like them. That's not true. You're looking at it physically.
In fact, I'll tell you the opposite. If you are vibrating low and you go to the most sunny, most beautiful destination,
Exactly.
fear will grip you.
Yes.
Scarcity will grip you. Poverty will grip you. Victim consciousness will grip you.
If you are in a low vibration, 3D will follow you wherever you go.
Correct. So you create your paradise.
Yes.
You create your paradise. And right now, the call is for every single one of us to go into our creator mode.
Yes.
What is this couple from Germany doing? They're going into their creator mode to such an extent that our guides guided us to give them way more for their service. And this is 5D. It's not about a linear scale. Our guides are saying we need more light workers like this. And they're saying when you offer to pay them double of what you think you should pay them, or even more than what they asked for, it's going to create a sense of fulfillment so strong in their hearts that something's going to activate within them, and they're going to realize how the universe has actually caught them. And that's what the universe is doing for light workers. This is just one example, but your guides and angels are really waiting for you to take those first few steps towards your mastery. And right now there's two camps. Are you aiding your ego, which is the dark matrix, or are you moving closer and closer to your higher self? Everything you do right now have those two benchmarks. Am I going more into my ego, where I could have easily, that restaurant experience, I could have completely derailed with that. I could have gone into my ego, because the ego tries to trigger you. The ego tries to create separation. The ego tries to say, look, you're right, he's wrong. Right? The ego is always doing that. So where are you putting your focus? Are you putting your focus on that? Or are you saying, hey, I'm done with that shit. I'm not aiding that. I'm going back home. I'm getting back on my detox. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to feel the hurt. I'm going to process the hurt. And then I'm going to get back on my feet and get back to my creator mode. I'm not going to aid the negative ball. Right now, many of you are walking towards, think of a caterpillar. Many of you are walking towards your higher self. Imagine your higher self, or your original self, because your higher self really is who you are. So imagine your higher self is waiting ahead of you, and you're walking towards your higher self so that your higher self can merge with you. Your higher self can step into you, which is not possible if your ego is dominating you. If your ego is dominating you, your higher self's like, oh, I can't breathe. I don't want to get into this. Your higher self can't do anything. Your ego is manipulating your brain, your mental body. Your ego is manipulating your thoughts. It's keeping you completely focused on all the wrong things. Let's say you're in a horrible relationship. Let's say your children are speaking rudely to you. Your ego will give you 10 reasons why you have to tolerate that. Saying, oh, don't say anything. Your children will run away from home. Don't say anything. You won't have any friends if you your ego is always going to manipulate you, trick you, and get more and more clever in manipulating you. Your higher self is saying, hey, look, like all your attention is like this. So you're going into social media when you're feeling electricity running through you because of the crazy intense system upgrades you're getting. That's right, you guys are getting system upgrades. All of us are. And the energies in this particular city, Santa Teresa, is upgrading us like crazy because we're practicing staying centered in this craziness. So use everything as a training ground. So what was I saying? I was going back to really start practicing on going towards your higher self. Your higher self is standing in front of you. All your focus is usually when you start feeling electricity or you start feeling discomfort or you feel like your ego is flaring up. What do humans do? They go to social media. They say, oh, I can't deal with this shit. Let me just go on Facebook for some time and I'll feel better. Let me just call my mom and,
or they overeat.
Or overeat, exactly. Or let me just call my mom and just gossip about or talk about some stupid shit and while away my time. Or let me just call that old friend who I know is a useless friend. She's not even my well-wisher. But let me just call her and kill some time. This is all 3D behavior, 3D consciousness. And this is how the ego works. It keeps you focused like that. And now what's you're being asked is to go like this. Focus in. When you're feeling that electricity, you're feeling the discomfort, you're feeling like my head is getting fried, I can't handle this energy, lie down, have an Epsom salt bath, rub some essential oils on yourself, go into the forest if you have access to one for a nice nature walk without your phone. Do things that will uplift you. Meditate. Calm your mind. Something that I do when my mind is getting fried is I listen to just rain. I play rain on my laptop and I just listen to the sound of rain because that water really soothes your mental body. And when you're in that state, this is very important. Your ego, your mind is going to give you 10 things you need to do. Get off there and go do this. You've forgotten to check mail. You've forgotten to send this person the money. Maybe you forgot to turn off the iron box. You're ironing. It's always going to make you go into panic mode. And just relax. Remember, your ego, your mind is trying to take you away from your peace. So when you transcend that and you say, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm meditating right now. This is my meditation time. And I trust that at the end of this, after an hour or two, I can do all my work in 1/10 the time. Because when you meditate and you calm down, life gets easy. It doesn't take long. That's how we can do so much. We do so much. We're having a retreat. We're doing courses. We're doing YouTube videos. On top of that, we're maneuvering Costa Rica where we don't have a home. We're literally going from Airbnb to Airbnb. Like right now, we don't have a place in Dosara. Like we don't have a place where the retreat is just before the retreat. We're literally, it's crazy the things we're going to, guys. His credit card expired. My credit card expired. It's crazy the things we're going through, but we're maneuvering it because we are masters of our bodies. We're masters of our mental body. We're masters of our ego. Yes, the finer ego lessons are there. I'm not saying that I'm a master of my ego, but I've done enough that the compression breakthrough has happened, that I have broken through the clutches of this matrix where life is more easy versus more hard.
Yeah.
Life is more in flow and magic is happening all the time versus life being, oh my God, my computer crashed, this crashed, my car doesn't work, this doesn't work, oh my God, like all my energy is going into it. So that's what the compression breakthrough is, that this energy is making it so unbearable for every aspect of your negative ego, every aspect of your dark side to show itself to you. Your triggers will show themselves to you. When you get triggered, thank the other person silently. Say, oh my God, that person's triggering me. She's my teacher. He's my teacher. Because when you have a trigger, when something's triggering you, you don't project. You don't say, okay, that person's triggering me, so he's a bad person, she's a bad person. No, you look within. What's causing this insecurity in me? What's causing this feeling of lack in me? They're just triggering me. They're my teacher. If you didn't understand it, rewind it and watch that again, because triggers can be a whole new video on its own. When something triggers you, when something upsets you, when you lose your cool, when you go to a restaurant and you can't be centered, work on being centered, work on meditating more. When your mental body is going crazy, don't just go into calling your friend or going to social media. Instead, Work on calming your mental body. Work on meditating. Work on quietening your mind. Work on take that extra 2-hour walk. Go sit in the park and just watch the birds, watch the bees, do whatever you need to do. That's how you stop giving the ego power. And eventually you'll start noticing that you're not run by your ego like a dog on a leash. Right now, many of you have the ego has you like a dog on the leash. You're not going off like on tandem. You're saying, hey, wait a second. Am I acting out of ego, or am I walking one step closer to my higher self, to my divine self, to my creator self? That's not thinking in lack. That's not vibrating victim consciousness, come save me, come save me. That's not constantly looking at political updates. Like, seriously, if you guys are constantly looking at political updates, guys, that's a very big red flag. I'll be honest with you. We're clueless what's happening on the world stage, but we know it deep within. We know deep within that the person that we think is in control is fully in control. And you guys know what I mean. Fully in control. But it doesn't matter. You just have to have that level of trust, faith, surrender in your heart, and not keep. The trap is going to constantly try to get your attention to watch more of that. Let's watch the news. Let's see what's going on. Let's go. And this is something so important. And after that, we'll wrap up because it's gotten very dark. One of the things that I have been noticing is that even in the light workers communities, I have to say this carefully. I see so many YouTube videos by spiritual teachers and leaders that are nothing but bullshit. Like, literally, when I look at that, I'm like, what are they even trying to teach people? There's no teaching in this. So we have gotten very good at looking and seeing where people are just trying to flaunt their male egos or their egos or their insecurities, and where people are actually helping you out. So when you're watching people that are pretending to be masters and big spiritual teachers, dressing like spiritual teachers and all of that, don't fall for the ego. They'll give you 100 things to keep you distracted. They'll give you 100 things saying, oh, you need to worry about this and you need to learn about that. How are they affecting your life? That is your only gauge. If their teachings are instantly making you feel better and are instantly raising your vibration, if they're instantly giving you the tools to maneuver Earth, that is who you follow. That is who you. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. So keeping your channel clear right now is very important, because a lot of people who have made it big on YouTube are just wasting your time. Not that they're bad people, but it's just a waste of time. So do you keep watching stuff just because you feel like, oh, we need to watch every single YouTuber out there? Or are you working vibrationally? This is very important, guys. Choose where you spend your energy. Really choose that. It's so important. That's how you keep your channel clear. That's how you start getting guidance. Right now, there's so much gunk in humanity's brains, light workers included. Until you calm your channels, clear your channels, that's when guidance starts. You can't even hear your guides if you're constantly looking and frying your system like that. It's very important.
Yeah, and also a reminder that these are the times of spiritual initiations. These are the final spiritual initiations that humanity has to pass through before we all ascend. So look at all aspects of your life, because there's going to be 7 initiations in your life that you have to pass through in order to ascend. Look at the initiations of the root chakra. Analyze your finances, analyze your job, analyze how well you're with spending money and receiving money, giving and receiving. Then look at your sacral chakra. Look at how your relationships are doing. Are you misusing your sexual power? Are you feeding your lower egoic sexual energy? Or are you channeling that sexual energy creatively? And are you channeling sexual energy with unconditional love, with respect for your partner, with respect for others? So,
and also the other spectrum.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, are you just being mute, or are you figuring out what's important to you? You don't owe anybody anything. Like, I'm just talking about sex here, but it's very important for you to be balanced.
Yeah.
In not overgiving, not overtaking. It's all
also about knowing your boundaries.
Thank you. That's what exactly.
Yeah, and then look at the initiations of the solar plexus. Are you standing in your power? Are you standing for what you believe in? Are you letting your voice be heard? Look at the initiations of your heart chakra. Are you letting go of your past hurts, or are you going into old egoic patterns and creating negative relationships, creating negative patterns in your life? Then look at the initiations of your throat chakra. Are you speaking your truth, or are you letting society or your government or your family and friends tell you what's right and wrong for you? Then look at the initiations of your third eye. Are you opening your third eye to see reality? Are you raising the bar in your consciousness? Are you amplifying your spiritual knowledge? Are you looking at things that are hidden? Are you able to amplify your psychic abilities so you can discern between right and wrong? There are very fine differences between right and wrong because most things on earth are gray. Are you standing in your integrity? And then look at your final initiation of the crown chakra, and then after that we ascend. So the initiation of the crown chakra is, are you connecting with source, and are you aligned with your higher self or your ego self? You cannot have ego and your higher self, like Eldora mentioned, in the same body. There's just not enough room. So when you finally let go of all of your ego lessons, when you finally let go of the darkness, when you finally let go of your old habits and programs, when you finally detox your body enough, then you reach your compression breakthrough, and then suddenly things become so much easier because your higher self starts merging with your body, and whatever is good for you, you'll start finding it easier to move in that direction. So having said that,
that is so important because everything is stuck in your chakras.
yes,
That is where the imbalances lie. It's beautiful. I think we
right.
should wrap up.
Yeah,
It's getting dark and
Absolutely.
we didn't go inside. We didn't feel like it. This is where we sit till like 11 p.m. just
It's our
looking at the
chilling spot.
stars, hearing the waves. So I wish you guys so much. I send you guys so much love. There's another personal example that I want to share, but I'll share that in the next video because it's so important for light workers to hear. It's so important about how light workers are self-sabotaging themselves. So that's very important, and it's
Yes.
a closed topic. I'm
Yes.
going to make a separate video for that because it won't do it justice at the end of this video. For you guys, if you haven't joined our Telegram group, please do, because we feel like right now a lot of social media is changing. So first of all, our email, add yourself to our email addresses, our email list. Go to www.eldoraandsiman.love and you'll see a email sign up. We have over 7,000 people or 8,000 people there, which is amazing. That way we can stay in touch regardless of the platform shift, and we need to stay together. We
And that
need
way
to
we
raise our
also,
vibration.
on those platforms, on email and Telegram, we can share truths that are usually censored.
Yes.
So here we have to be kind of careful and use code language, but there we are able to share more freely.
Yeah, so add yourself to the email list, our Telegram channel, which is super amazing. I love Telegram. It's so freaking amazing. You just go on your text. It's quick, you can comment, and it's so easy, especially if you have a cell phone. What's our Telegram channel? Eldora Siman. So it's ELDORASIMAN. And I'm sending you guys so much love. So much
Hang
love.
in there, guys. It's going to get easier, and we've been told that March is going to be more of a forward momentum kind of month, and there's going to be more forward progress with this ascension.
And
We
also
don't know
big
how-
revelations. We're feeling
we
some
don't know
big
how
revelations
all of
for
this
March.
will unfold, but we feel we're being told and we're constantly being shown that March is like a turning point in this ascension, and there's going to be a lot of forward momentum.
That being said, don't get
Don't
caught up
hold
on
on to any
timelines.
expectation of how it's supposed to happen. Throw that out of the window. You start creating your own reality. Figure out what is your contribution, what is your piece of the puzzle for New Earth, and start working on that project. That will help you get out of this funk.
Yes.
So you're focusing on creating. You're not focusing on what's around you and keeping you locked in negativity.
We are 1 week away from our shift into 5D retreat. It's so exciting. I can't believe it. Like literally it's 1 week away, and wow.
I'm almost in disbelief, but at the same time we're in complete belief because we manifested this.
Yes.
We as a group, our beautiful 18 participants and us, we set the intentions back in November when we launched this.
When things were crazy. People
Yeah,
were like,
we
what,
had
you're
no
hosting a
idea.
retreat?
We felt like we're on a roller coaster that may fall off the rails at any moment. And we
Yeah, we're
had
so
no idea how
excited.
we were going to pull it off. And now it's happening next week.
And now that we see the curriculum, we're realizing that this is not just a retreat. Like when we started it, of course, we had an idea, but now we're realizing, holy my goodness, we're actually shifting, like the consciousness shift into 5D is happening. And these are the warriors of light that are coming up, and they're coming for transformation. That's it. That's our only focus, transformation. And we're loving it because a lot of times we're alone, we're in our own bubble. And our guides are saying these retreats will help you relate to people. It'll help you relate to people's problems, people's challenges, people's insecurities, because we are just each other. We don't really meet friends. We don't have any friends. And we love it that way because we've always said we only want friends that are super high vibrational, that it's an equal give and take relationship, and where we charge each other up. Otherwise, it's a waste of our time. It's a waste of our energy. It clogs up our channel. It clogs up our channeling. So this retreat we're looking forward to it too, because our guides are saying you're going to be able to relate so much more, and then your YouTube videos will blow up. Like blow up meaning they'll explode because of how much input you get from meeting people. How much information
we're going to get from that experience.
And guys, talking about that, it's crazy how much censorship's happening, but our guides are saying it's fine, you can't censor. So our guides are telling us that our YouTube videos right now, just speaking very linearly, they're saying right now, if not for the censorship, because our channel was censored about 3 months ago. It's the same, it happened like literally, they've done it through an algorithm where they for the first 24 hours or 48 hours, they manipulate our views. Okay, so let's say 10,000 people watch it, they'll say 500 people have watched it. So it's a back end error so that it doesn't explode. YouTube's based on algorithms. And our guides are saying, if not for that, if you had a clean channel, right now you'd be getting 200,000 people watching your videos each, because your vibration, the vibration of your teachings have already exceeded the vibration of your reality. And why is that? Because energy is first, physicality manifests next. So they're saying right now, your vibration will help you explode through that crack as well in the matrix. The vibration will bring whoever is meant to watch these videos, they'll bring it, and it's happening regardless of censorship. It's happening regardless. The light is going to engulf this planet. It already is. It may seem very dark, like the caterpillar. When the caterpillar slowly, like this animal that nobody gives a shit about, is like crawling in its little, whatever useless life. How does it know that it's one day going to become a freaking butterfly and fly away, and it's gorgeous with wings and it takes flight? That's where we are right now. We're going through this very dark tunnel, but the light that waits ahead is magical, and we're seeing the light. We're in the light. We feel it. We feel it. I'm telling you, our whole reality is so magical, and I'm sure many of you get that. You get what we're talking about. Instant manifestation is so much joy. We've never felt this good ever in our lives. And so it's very exciting what's coming. Hang in there and really use your feeling sensors to how do I feel versus what my mind wants me to do. Your mind will tell you to go like that. But when you tune into your feelings, your body might say, just stay home, just rest, just integrate. Like a bit of both is required. A bit of integration is required, because you can't just sit at home like a hermit and say, I'm going to now ascend to 5D. You have to be tough out there. You have to be warriors out there.
Guides are reminding us to bring our warrior templates online. Balance rest with action, light workers. Get your projects moving forward, because when we create movement, we start ascending. Stagnation is just over stagnation. Rest is necessary, but over rest creates stagnation, and then you descend. Because then you get caught in the density, and then you reaffirm your limiting beliefs that this is too much for me and I can't handle it. So get your projects moving, get your bodies moving, dance, work out, love each other,
and start creating. What are you wanting to create in New Earth? You don't have to just think about it. Start creating. What can you do right now for New Earth? Like, go back to this analogy. Every time you have a dad, go back to this German couple who came with a daughter, and now her daughter goes to nursery here. How cute is that? A Costa Rican nursery. And they're creating the video. They're doing the sound baths. And the universe is now giving them so many options. They didn't know this 3 months ago when they came. In fact, when they came here, they were caught by expensive rents. Costa Rica is not cheap. It is so expensive. But once you get to the quantum field, money is like
They
monopoly
literally,
money.
when they came here, they didn't know how they were going to survive next month. And right now, they're flying. They're getting their business together. They're like doing sound baths on the beach. They're like meeting people. They're connecting people. And their attitude is ferocious.
And they're so grounded.
Yes.
Guys, if you're watching,
We love you guys.
we love you. We love how grounded you are. And that's what my next video is going to be about, how light workers are self-sabotaging themselves because of all their baggage. And that is so important. I'll make that in a future
Yeah,
video. But
sure.
start forward momentum, start creation, start expressing your talents, and use your voice with your families. Don't let your families, however smart or amazing they think they are, to give you shit or talk down to you. You have your boundaries. If your family wants to go line up and get shots in their arm, let them. If you can stop them, you can. But if they don't listen, don't use the same analogy as the waiter, the server in the restaurant. Don't let their negativity pull you down. A lot of you are doing this. You're feeling hopeless. You're feeling there's no hope. And I understand it's very, very hard. I've lost my own son to this craziness. My son went from being this cute little angel to one of my biggest enemies. Like, if right now I've had to literally leave him out of my will because my guide said to me, your family is not safe for you anymore. Your birth son is not safe for you anymore. And yet we have so much ease with our soul family. Like, we can trust them with money. We can trust them with our mail. Like, we actually forwarded our mail to one of you guys. If you're watching, Nazima and Morris, thank you so much for how sweetly, how lovingly you do this for us, and how we've never really met, but this vibration is, we feel like we don't have any family or friends, right? Like birth family or friends, but this soul family is all over the world.
Yeah.
And we're all getting connected now. So if we need a favor, it's so easy.
We have this implicit trust with people we've never met just based on their vibration.
Trust. I got a letter yesterday from the CRA and she sent me the cover. I'm like, open it, send it to me. It's my T4 tax. Fine, open it. I have nothing to hide. And it's so amazing that we can do this with soul family. Like with my parents, I'd probably say, don't open it, because then you're going to judge me on how much I make. You're going to lecture me on why I haven't done my CRA. And I don't want to aid the matrix anymore. So I'm trying to delay as much as possible. So that's a whole new topic. I don't want to aid the matrix anymore.
It's all going to crumble anyway.
It's all going to crumble
anyway. We're just
anyway.
waiting.
That was a nice candid chat.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Mwah. Love you
All right,
guys.
Stay safe, stay well.
Oh gosh, I hate it
Stay
when people say
connected.
stay safe. Anywhere you go in 3D,
Not the
everyone's
COVID
like,
safe.
stay safe. I'm like, oh my God, it's so sick when they say that. Stay safe.
Stay joyous. That's a better word.
Yes, I love it.
So until
Stay
next
orgasmic.
time. I
Stay
love that
radiant.
even better.
Yes, I love you guys. Until next time.
Take care, fam.